All right, so yesterday we talked about congruent parts. Today we're going to focus strictly on triangles. Okay. In order to prove that two triangles are congruent, you need 3 pieces of information. So over here somewhere on your page, put to prove two triangles congruent, you must have 3 congruent parts. Okay, so to prove two triangles congruent, you must have 3 congruent parts. I'm going to show you today that there are certain things that you can have, and it's good. And sometimes when they give you 3 pieces of information, they just haven't given you enough. So some of the postulates I'm going to show you today work. Some of them do not. Give everybody a minute to get this down so everybody's paying attention. We move on to the next piece. Good? All right, so if you take a look at this first picture, whoa, okay, what 3 pieces do they give you? All 3 sides. Okay, so this is 3 sides congruent. And this postulate is called side, side, side. Shorthand to SSS. Okay. This postulate works. So you can put a check on here. This postulate works. So if you open up that flap, underneath it, if 3 sides of one triangle is congruent to 3 sides of another, the triangles are congruent. The same, equal. If I took them and put them on top of each other, they would lie perfectly on top of each other. Okay. So if you see side, 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 and side, 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 they're automatically congruent because you have this side, side, side postulate. Okay, take a look at your next picture. What information do they give us in these ones? Oh!
Ms. Smith?
Yes, ma'am?
Can you send Emma O'Connell to the office for a moment?
Sure.
Thank you.
Side, angle, side. So we've got 2 sides and the included angle. Okay, 2 sides and the included angle. Look where your angle is marked on both of your triangles. It's in the middle of the 2 sides.
In what?
Included. Okay, that's what included means. That angle falls right in the middle of your 2 sides that are marked. That's what makes this side, angle, side. The angle is in the middle, so the A is in the middle for this postulate. Does that make sense? Okay. So your formal definition on the inside If two sides and the included angle are congruent, to two sides and the included angle, then your triangles are congruent. So if you see side angle side, you can tell me that your triangles are congruent. This one works. Oh, we didn't put a check on the outside. Put a check on the outside too, so you know this one works. Okay, this one works. So when you look to see if these triangles are congruent, you need to see if they have three pieces. And if the three pieces that they have are one of these postulates, they're congruent. You can tell me they're congruent because you now know these postulates. You said that one's what, Elijah?
I don't really understand this.
You don't
Like, with postulates?
Yes.
What's postulates?
Postulate is like a theorem. So like you know that a squared plus b squared equals c squared because somebody's done the work for you and said that that's a proven theorem. These are proven postulates that says if you see them, the triangles are congruent. So you're not actually solving for anything. You use these pieces of information that somebody else has come up with to prove that things are the way they are. This is proof.
What is this on the front?
Okay.
What is it? Two sides.
Two sides and the included angle.
And SA.
And SAS. All right. Elijah's already taken a look at the second one. And he said this one we should call angle side angle. Again, take a look at the side that they've marked. It's the side that's smushed in between those two angles. So this one is angle side angle. And this one also works. So it's two angles and the included side. Oops. Okay, two angles and the included side. Huh? No, I don't. Sorry. Two angles and the included side. So on the inside, if two angles, I'm going to shorthand this. If two angles plus the included side are congruent to two angles plus the included side, then the triangles are congruent. It's very important, though, that that side falls in between the two angles in order for you to call it angle side angle. Two angles plus the included side are congruent to two angles and the included side. The triangles are congruent.
So wait, more? Okay.
Yep.
I don't get it.
What, my symbols?
Included side. If two angles and included side
Are congruent.
What is the sign for
The
that? Like, is
two-
it like
The congruent, it's an equal with the similar sign above it. Okay? If you had to label this one,